So students, in this lecture we are going to discuss preparation of alcohols from alkenes. Yesterday we have quoted general reactions, that is hydrolysis of alkenes, hydroboration oxidation and oxymercuration demercuration. In this session we are going to discuss mechanism of these reactions, mechanism of hydrolysis, mechanism of hydroboration oxidation and mechanism of oxymercuration demercuration reaction. Now let us start with hydrolysis of alkenes. These are methods of preparation of alcohols from alkenes. Now before discussing this, let us write here a rule that's called Markovnikov's rule. Markovnikov's rule. This rule states that electrophilic addition to unsymmetrical alkene electrophilic addition to unsymmetrical alkene takes place in such a way that the positive part, not H positive necessarily, that the positive part of attacking reagent adds to that carbon atom, adds to that sp2 hybridized carbon, which bears maximum number of hydrogen atoms. Now this is the rule. Positive part of the attacking reagent adds to that sp2 hybridized carbon atom which bears maximum number of hydrogen atoms. For example, if we have an alkene like this, now this is our sp2 hybridized carbon and this is sp2, this is sp3. These two are sp2 hybridized carbon. Now out of these two sp2 hybridized carbon atoms, this one has more hydrogens and this has less hydrogens. If I bring about electrophilic substitution to this, then positive part of electrophile adds to that carbon atom which bears maximum number of hydrogen atoms and negative part to that which bears less number of hydrogen atoms. Now let us discuss this rule in all the three cases, that is in case of hydrolysis, hydroboration oxidation, and in case of oxymercuration demercuration. Then case number first, that is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is generally addition of water. In this hydrolysis we add water, that's addition of water. Addition of water basically means addition of H positive and OH negative ion, that's H positive and OH negative ion. We will simplify things. Now let us take an alkene CH3 CH double bond CH2. Now this is an alkene. If it is treated with water, means treated with H positive ion. This H positive ion is obtained from water and we have OH negative. According to Markovnikov's rule, positive part of the reagent, this is an attacking reagent, positive part of this reagent is H plus. It adds to that sp2 hybridized carbon. This is sp2, this is sp2, this is sp2, this is sp2 and this is sp3. How it is sp2? Because there are only 1 and 2 and 1, that's 3 sigma bonds, that's why sp2. Positive part of attacking reagent adds to that sp2 hybridized carbon atom which bears maximum number of hydrogen atoms. Therefore, positive part will add to this carbon atom and OH will add to this carbon atom. Now see, therefore our bond will break towards this side. Positive part will add to this carbon atom, we will get carbocation. Now this is a secondary carbocation. We get carbocation CH3, CH positive, single bond CH3. Now in the next step what happens, this negative part of the attacking reagent attacks, we get alcohol. Now what type of alcohol we are getting over here? This is secondary alcohol. This is secondary alcohol 2-propanol. Question may be asked in board exams like this. How can you prepare 2-propanol from propene? This is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis, this thing you have to remember. Generally, what you have to do, you have to check sp2 hybridized carbon atoms, and you have to add positive part to that carbon atom which bears maximum number of hydrogen atoms, and OH to that which bears less number of hydrogen atoms. This is as simple as it is. Now, number second is hydroboration oxidation. Hydroboration oxidation. Hydroboration oxidation. We have obtained 2-propanol. What if we need 1-propanol from propene? If we want to prepare CH3, CH double bond CH2. If we want to prepare 1-propanol, that is CH3, CH2, CH2OH. Means if we want to add H positive to this and OH to this, how can we bring about it? The process for this is hydroboration oxidation. Now this hydroboration oxidation, as the name suggested, it is carried out in presence of BH3. BH3 as such does not exist. It exists in the form of dimer, that's called diborane, B2H6. Now see, BH3 is an electron deficient species. It has how many electrons? 6. Therefore, usually when we carry out reaction with BH3, we make it stable with pyridine or any other base. This is our pyridine. This pyridine donates lone pair of electrons, stabilizes it. It will be available in the form of pyridine. You may have pyridine in this reaction as well. Pyridine always stabilizes this BH3 and it has nothing to do. Now, hydroboration oxidation is carried out in presence of BH3. This is first step. First step is addition of boron. This is called boron. That's why the reaction is called hydroboration. This is boron hydride. Hydride of boron. That's why the reaction is called hydroboration. And in the next step, oxidation takes place with the help of NaOH and O2. NaOH and O2. It forms hydrogen peroxide, NaOH, and we can use water as well, NaOH, O2 or water. Now this is oxidation step. This is hydroboration followed by oxidation. This is called a hydroboration oxidation. Let us check the mechanism of this reaction, how the reaction takes place. Does it follow Markovnikov's rule or not? Let us see. This is BH3. This is B, H, H and H. This is BH3. I will draw it like this, otherwise the bond is like this. Let me draw it like this. This is BH3. Now BH3 contains 2, 4, 6 electrons. It's electron deficient. It has empty vacant pz orbital. This is pz orbital which is empty vacant. Means this pz orbital can accept electrons. Means this is electrophile. Then electrophile adds to that part which bears maximum number of hydrogen atoms. Then this attacks to boron, not hydrogen atom. This carbon attacks to boron because electrophile in this case is boron. This is the rule. This is Markovnikov's rule. Now what happens? And this hydrogen attacks this carbon atom. We get CH3, CH single bond, CH2, BH2. This is BH2. One hydrogen is lost over here which attacks this hydrogen atom. This becomes CH2. This is first step. Means I broke out this BH3 like this. I broke it like this. We get BH2 plus because it was electron deficient and H negative. BH2 plus is an electrophile, adds to that carbon atom which bears maximum number of hydrogen atoms, and H negative adds to that carbon atom which bears least number of hydrogen atoms. Now see, still we have boron over here. This boron is still electron deficient. We can react it with one molecule with one more molecule of alkene. CH3, CH double bond CH2. Now this is one more molecule of alkene. Now see what happens. Boron is electron deficient. Electron deficient electrophilic part adds to this carbon atom. Therefore bond breaks like this, and this hydrogen attacks over here. We get, this is our boron. Start from here. To this boron we have alkyl group attached, CH2, CH2, CH3, and one hydrogen on this boron atom. And we have one more alkyl group. This attacks, therefore CH2, CH, CH3. Now still there is boron. There are still how many bonds? 1, 2, 3. It can add to one more alkene. CH3, CH double bond, CH2. Now what happens? This bond attacks over boron, hydrogen attacks over here. We get trialkyl derivative. This is boron, this is CH2, CH2, CH3, and this is CH2, CH2, CH3, and this is this CH2, CH2, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. We will write it like this: one molecule of this propyl group, other molecule, and one more molecule. We can write it CH3, CH2, CH2 whole thrice B. Now this is trialkyl borate. Therefore, we need 3 molecules of this in this reaction. This is trialkyl borate. Now this is the part of hydroboration. Now oxidation starts. This is the part of hydroboration. We can write it like this. In your textbook, it may be written like this, but this is actual mechanism. Now we treat it with, we bring about oxidation. Oxidation is carried out in presence of NaOH and water or oxygen. Now see what happens. We'll simply do it over here like this. We'll break this bond, break this bond, break this bond. If I break this bond towards this atom, this becomes positively charged. OH attacks over here, OH attacks over here, OH attacks over here. We get 3 molecules of CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. This is one molecule. This is one molecule from here, one molecule from here, one molecule from here, and we get back BH3. Now this is the mechanism of the reaction, hydrobor. Now tell me guys, is hydroboration oxidation following Markovnikov's rule or not? It follows Markovnikov's rule. Now this follows Markovnikov's rule. Therefore, in this reaction, we will write now net reaction. What we have done? We have taken this type of compound. How many molecules? We have taken 3 molecules. We have treated it with BH3 and NaOH, O2. This is hydroboration oxidation. Now what happens? We get intermediate, that's trialkyl boron, CH3, CH2, CH2, this is boron. And in the second step, we bring about hydroboration oxidation reaction. We get alcohol, CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. These are 3 molecules, plus we get BH3. Means we get 1 propanol. If you see your text in chapter 1, that's chapter of haloalkanes, there are questions asked at the end of the lesson. One of the question is, how can you prepare 1 propanol from propene and 2 propanol from propene by hydrolysis and by hydroboration oxidation. Now third method is oxymercuration and demercuration reaction. Oxymercuration and demercuration reaction. This question has been asked in GATE. In GATE exam or in NET exam, somewhere it has been asked. Hydroboration oxidation follows Markovnikov's, does not follow Markovnikov's rule, may or may not follow Markovnikov's rule. It follows Markovnikov's rule. If anyone tells you it does not follow, he is wrong. It follows Markovnikov's rule, because I have seen a number of videos on YouTube where it is said that Markovnikov's hydroboration oxidation does not follow Markovnikov's rule. It's anti. It's not anti. It follows Markovnikov's rule. Now one more is one more type of reaction is oxymercuration.